Right, here we are. Day 5. Overcast today. It's not cold, I've got my jumper pullover on, but it's not actually, it's nice. I'm not making particularly good progress. I've been on the go now for 40 minutes, I've done about 5 miles. That's okay, as long as I can average 7 miles an hour. That's 35 miles a day and 5 hours cycling. So there's going to be a bit of a change now today because I'm actually changing route from my original plan. I was always had the option of doing this, and to start with, what I'm going to change to today was my chosen route. But then I thought, well, I'm missing too much of France, so perhaps I need to go into one city and have a look, and that would be Nantes. But I'm thinking now that maybe I'm going to head now west over to the coast and pick up the coast. I mean, I've been on this canal now. This canal is the Brest to Nantes canal, so if you look on the map you'll see just how far that is. And you know, there's just so many days, this is day 5 of canal riding. I've seen everything there is to see. I've seen kingfishers, I'm sure I saw otters, and there's all sorts of other wildlife, birds and things around there, the noises, the bird song, it's brilliant. But I've almost been spoilt by it in a way. It's become a little bit too easy, so I'm going to head on to probably what means going on to roads at some point up here, probably about 10 miles down the line here. I'll be turning off and heading, sort of veering southwest, which will take me down to the coast, a place I'm heading to, I suppose. Whether I'll make it today, I don't know. It's about 50 miles away. There's a place called Saint-Gravé, I think. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. And that's it. And then I'm on the west coast then, literally all the way down. La Rochelle and down to Bordeaux, I think. Still remaining on that coastal side. Whether that's going to be beneficial weather-wise, I don't know. No idea. Anyway, that's the plan. Planning on the hoof. That's what this is. Right, where were we? Where were we yesterday? Right, yeah, I put in about 40 odd miles. Hotel. I decided yesterday, as I was driving, I think I might have mentioned it, I was going to try and find a hotel to stay in, you know, because I've done 3 days camping. My gear was wet from the day before, probably still is actually, although I did try and dry it last night. I did manage to find a hotel, which I think I might have already explained, and if I hadn't, I'll just reiterate. What I was thinking is, the problem is, if I pre-book anywhere, I'm then predetermined on where I've got to be at set times, and you can't travel like that, because there was that day, like when I had all the steps, where you just can't do anymore. So, oh, here we go, it's going to be interesting. Grass cutting. So you tend to plan on the go, which is so far been okay, it's worked out. But last night I came to a place, I thought, well, I'm going to start searching. I started looking from about 4 o'clock onwards, but the hotels always seem to be back. Bonjour. They always seem to be back from where I am, so which just defeats the object, doesn't it? You have to turn around and go back. So I kept stopping every sort of 20 minutes and trying again and seeing what came up. Ah, merci. Merci. Eventually I came to this little place, and I was cycling along the path, and to the right of me, the canal on the left, I saw this sort of like, building that had signs on it. I thought, well, that would be quite a nice place to stay, but there was no way into it. I couldn't work out a way into it from the path. So when I got to the next junction, I settled down for a 10-minute break and started the research, and it came up on the map. It came up on the map, I think, as just hotel or something. So I went on to booking.com. I went on to Airbnb, but I've given up on Airbnb. I thought it was good, but it talks about stays and things. It keeps pushing you to stay a week somewhere at another time of the year, and I don't like that. It's a bit bugging me. So I went on to booking.com, chucked in where I was, nearest hotel. Up they came, loads of them. Prices ranging, when you wait for it. £236, and this is in pounds because I've said it's pounds. £236 a night, right down to 43, sorry. And this particular one that I passed on my path, guess what? It was for the one that was £43, and it looked quite nice. So I thought, right, I'm not even, it was back a ways, you know, 500, maybe half a mile. So I thought, well, I'm not going to just give up this opportunity, I'm just going to keep doing this. So I went through the booking process. Oh, first bit of graffiti. That's sad, isn't it? People in the wrong gear, so this is good. Okay. Bonjour. Very nice. Bonjour. Merci. I always think when they keep their dogs under control, you never know. I don't like doing this, so I shall show you some flora and maybe, hopefully, some fauna if it jumps out of this. Bonjour. Oh, that's more water. Yeah, that's more water over there, isn't it? Is that water? Looks like it, water, isn't it? Oh, where was I? Right, so I went through the booking process, booked the hotel, and went on the booking process. Four-star accommodation, television, media, washing facilities, including breakfast. Oh, well, you know, continental breakfast, okay, that's all right. Do that. What else? It sounded nice. And on the booking thing, it said last one more unit left, sort of thing. Now what I've realised now, and I'll put it in straight away, is that is a ploy by the hosts and the owners. They can set it up, I think, that can say that. Anyway, so that was it. So I thought, well, look, I'm here. I know I've done my 40 miles. It's 500 yards back from where I am, round the roads. So that's okay. I'm going to do this. So I just booked. Boom, done. What time do you want breakfast? What time do you want to leave? What time are you arriving? What time are you going? What's your mother's Christian name? All nonsense. Went through the whole process, booked it. Ka-ching, took my money, that's it. So now I go to find it. That was reasonably straightforward. Although it was a bit of uphill and downhill. But anyway, it was only 500 yards. So. And there I am. I turn up, I find it, and ride down to this nice looking building in this nice courtyard with picnic tables outside and planters outside with the geraniums, the trailing ones. I can't think what they're called. They've got a special name. I can't remember. We used to grow them actually. Pink. They're normally pink. They look beautiful. Hanging baskets. So I go down, and it looked like might be a reception. The door was open, I think. So I parked the trike up out front, walked into this dark, cool, very cool room, laid out with like dining tables, very good dining tables, you know, solid wood, rustic, you know, with some with tablecloths on, some with one with a microwave on, and various teas and coffees and things. Bonjour, bonjour, I'm calling out. No, nothing, not a sound. Looked round the corner, couldn't find anything. Scouted round, walked all the way around the building. Round the back there's a swimming pool, but the water was green. I mean, that might have been a clue. Maybe that was made, in fairness, it might have been clean water. It could have been. It could just be that the tiles were the wrong colour. But anyway. But it was a garden to me that looked like it had been laid out very well 10 years ago. And since then it's gradually deteriorated. So the geraniums are still growing because they probably grow here all the year round anyway. But I wasn't expecting pristine, but I was expecting it to be a little bit better. But I was, at this point, I'm still okay. So I'm thinking, right, what do? I just sat down on one of the picnic benches, took my panniers off my trike, and I thought, well, look, someone's going to turn up. They're probably gone for a pee or something, and maybe, you know, maybe some guests will turn up. It doesn't look like there's no any cars here. Perhaps there's no, you know, the guests are out and they'll be turning up now because this is sort of 5:30ish, 6 o'clock. Anyway, nothing, half an hour, nothing. About 100 yards away, I could see a building and I could hear someone wood cutting, sawing in there, electric saw. So over I went, found the saw, young man, didn't speak any English, I didn't speak any French. I'm not, that's my fault, that's my, you know, that's down to me. But he understood, which I thought was quite weird because he kind of grasped what I was getting at straight away. I said, there's nobody here, you know. I sort of made the gesture of, you know, hands on the side of the head and head to one side, you want to sleep and things. He understood. He said, oh, well, just wait. He had some English, wait. And he was looking on his phone, I think, translating. So I waited another 10 minutes or so. Let's see, this is going to be interesting. I'll go right down into this because we're talking as well. I'll just take it slowly. There's a lot of these actually. Not normally as steep as this, but got a guy here doing these exercises. We're crossing the roads, that's what happened here. So eventually, I go to this guy and he was talking. So he said, hang on, bonjour.
Bonjour.
So I'm swapping house to change people. Oh, this is a bit bright, isn't it? Oh, look at that, the long straight road. That's a bit like life really, isn't it, if you think of it. There's the road ahead, here's where we are, and that's where we're going at the end. And all this is in between. What are we going to do with it? Anyway, sorry, I'm off on a tangent there. Right, back to, so I'm still waiting, we're talking to this guy and we're kind of getting there, and he said, he's pointing up to a house, a farmhouse, which is probably about 300 yards away up the road, and I can just see it. He said, farmer, there. But before that, he gestured to me in his broken English to go and find the farmer in the fields, and I'm pointing where. He said, oh, I don't know, you know, that French where they sort of shrug and put their hands out, I don't know. So he's kind of suggesting, you know, go and find a farmer in a field somewhere who might be able to help. So he points up to the house. So I guess that's what he meant, go up there. So up to the house I trot, walking up the hill again. Knocked on the front door, nothing. Found a doorbell, nothing. Walked round the back, nothing. All the windows were open and everything. All the way around the house, knocking on doors, windows, calling out, bonjour, you know. Where the fuck? Sorry, no, I didn't say that. Nothing, not a soul. So back down I come again, sat on the bench for another 10 minutes, nothing, still nothing. And at this point I'm starting to think, this is weird. This is weird, because it looks so nice. So after a few minutes I'm thinking, well, I've got a problem here, and this is interesting, because if I was in a car I would have gone. I would have worried about getting my refund back from booking later on. But in a car, I can jump in a car, I can do 20 miles in half an hour, can't I? Or thereabouts, 15, 20 miles. And I'm in a different area with probably different hotels. But on a trike at 6 o'clock at night, you know, with only your phone as reference to where you're going to go really and what you're going to find, I'm running out of options. So I'm thinking I've got to try and stick to this. I'll give it a few more minutes and wait here and see if some guests start turning up, you know, because I was the last one, so they're probably out for the day. They'll all be turning up and I'm sure they'll help me, you know. So 15 minutes, another 15 minutes has gone by, still nothing. So I walked back over to the guy who's cutting up the wood again and doing his woodwork, and by now he's getting a bit pissed, I think. But he kind of talked, and I said I can't. He said I gestured to the phone, doesn't work, no answer. Da, da, da. So then he decides to say I'll message. So then he messages the person, the owner, I suspect. And that was it. So I walked back, another 10 minutes at the bench, still nothing. So I'm thinking, I'm getting desperate now, I've got to go. I can't risk staying here. And then nobody's turning up. I mean, for all I know, they've overbooked and they don't want the embarrassment of telling me that they have, and, you know, I've got to go and find somewhere else. So I walked back over to the guy, and he's got his ear muffs on and everything, and I have to make myself so he can see me, and you get that kind of look, oh no, not the Englishman again, sort of thing. So I said, I made out, you know, where? And then he shows me on his way, he said, okay, a few minutes, soon, we'll come, and he's pointing down the road, sort of thing, come. So I thought, well, what something bloody told me, but he didn't. So back I go to the bench, sitting there, and yeah, eventually, after about another 5 minutes, the car turns up, which was interesting. Quite racy, you know. What I mean by racy, I mean the car turns up quite quickly, fast. So I'm putting my sunglasses on. There's a lot of little flies and they're all on my jumper. I don't know whether you can see them. And they're probably all over my face. Yeah, but only flies everywhere. It's the first day of this. Right, what are we doing? And out jumps this little French woman, lovely woman. She was very pleasant, lovely, you know, very polite, and broken English. Okay, looks at the trike and says, well, do you want to put your bike? And I said, can I, you know, safe somewhere at the store, you know. Oh, and she's quite interested in the trike because it's 3 wheels, so off she goes. And then she opens up this door, which is in this sort of next door along from what looked like the restaurant, which, and luckily enough it was a 3-foot opening door, and gestured for me to put the trike in there. So over I wheel it, and I could see that it was going to go in, but just as I'm getting to the door, she's standing in the doorway, suddenly 2 pigeons come flying out. Oh, she goes, and there's still one stuck in there, so she grabs a broom, starts to herd the pigeon out. And when we get in there, it's actually an extension to the restaurant again. There's tables in there laid out. No tablecloths, but there are tables. Oh, okay. Bonjour, merci. So there's still a pigeon in there. As I say, herds it out, gets it out the door. And they've been in there some time because there was bloody pigeon shit all over the table. Anyway, in goes the trike, lovely jubbly. I'd already got the panniers off. And she closed the door. I said, you know, and gestured, is it safe, you know, and all this nonsense. And yeah. So over he goes, yeah, a room, I'd take you to a room. So, and here's where it becomes Bates Motel. And those that know Alfred Hitchcock will know what I'm talking about. So, in we go to this restaurant area again, tabled area. Bonjour. And to the right of that, there's some stairs going up. Up we go. We go up the stairs and we come to this corridor with on the left the windows looking out over the courtyard where I've been sitting with my trike, which has got all the lovely geraniums. And on the right of the corridor, a line of 6 doors, 5 or 6 doors. So the first one is number 1. As we, you know, it's just about 10 feet away from the stairs, I suppose. As we get to it, she hesitates and she said, oh, yeah, oh, I'll put you in number 1. And And that was the bit that got me, and I thought, oh goodness me, Bates Motel, isn't it? 'Cause isn't that what he said, or Perkins at the reception, he decided which room he was going to put her in. And at this point I'm thinking, no, come on, this is fine. Live and let live. Or die and let die. Hang on, gear changes again. And then we'll get down there. Door. Yeah, a quick one, so I've got to concentrate, we've got a double turn here. Oh, give a change again. There we are. Right. So, into the room. I would say it wasn't smelly, it wasn't musty, but it was yeah, it was okay, and it was clean. There was no cobwebs, there was no dust. The bathroom was okay. Tiles in the shower, and sometimes I've travelled, so I know what to expect sometimes. You know, where the grouting turns black with the mould, a bit of that down the corners and up some of the sides, but all okay. Hot water, yeah, cold water, electric. But what I noticed was like a bracket on the wall with an aerial lead coming down and another lead. And I say, television? Oh no, sorry, broken. Oh, right, okay, all right. Well, it's the last room, I can understand that. They're probably all the other tellies are working and all the other people are happy, but it's just me who's going to suffer. So, and I noticed there was lots of electric points, so I'm thinking this is going to be great for me, everything's going to get charged. So I thanked her, thank you very much. Messy. And then asked me what time I want breakfast. I said, I tried to gesture what time is it, is it between 6 and 10, 7, when does everyone else go? Couldn't get anywhere with that, so I said 8:30, and then we decided on 8 o'clock, I think, 8:30 or something like that. And we got that right, and then thank you very much, and off she went. Oh no, and at that point, this is where it gets funny, this is the point where she gestures. 2 hands in the air, pulling down. Either you could say bell ringing, but I guess straight away it's milking a cow, right? So she looks at me puzzled as she's doing this, and I'm kind of second guessing what she's meaning. She said, I have to go, and then up and down the hands again. So I could have played along, but I thought, no, I'm going to put her out of her misery. So there's me, there's her in the room, hands up and down, and there's me facing her, and I'm putting my hands up and down and making a mooing sound. So I'm going moo by pulling the udders and all ringing the bells. And yeah, that was hilarious, she loved that, and that was it. Off she trotted. I didn't see her again till the following morning. So in the room I am thinking, right, let's get organised. I've got washing to do, and so I did. I washed some things, emptied out the panniers because some of the stuff was wet from the day before, camping, laid it all out, got everything organised. By now it's getting to about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Made the phone calls I need to make, sent the messages, tried to sort out my computers for navigation, and they're still not working properly. Everything's guesswork. Bonjour. Bonjour. What happened next? Right, so at this point I'm thinking this is all a bit strange, because I went out of the door, looked out on the car park, there's no cars, there's nobody there, nobody. And then it dawned on me, I'm the only person in this building staying in it, there's nobody else there. And it proved right later on the following morning when I asked, no other guests. I was the only one there. And I guessed it while I was preparing myself for getting ready for bed. So I had to make a phone call. So the person I was phoning, my son, so I mentioned to him that if he doesn't hear from me again,